And Rabbi Hia bar Abba said that Rabbi Yohanan said all the prophets only prophesied with regard to the change in world order in the end of days, with regard to the days of the Messiah. However, with regard to the world to come, which exists on a higher level, it is stated, "No eye has seen it, Elohim, aside from you." This passage in the Talmud is interesting because most rabbis deny many messianic prophecies, pointing that it means something else, but here it says that all prophecies have to do with the Messiah. Look at this Talmudic passage. In the future, the Messiah will bring all the Israelites to surround Jerusalem, where they will build the temple. The righteous will surround the Messiah, who will enter Jerusalem astride his donkey, and those who teach the Torah will study with him. It is very interesting that many Jews who were becoming secular were resurrected by Yeshua to serve the Father, and they welcomed him in Jerusalem when Yeshua came on a donkey. Sanhedrin 98a13. Rabbi Alexandri says Rabbi Yehoshua ben Levi raises a contradiction between two depictions of the coming of the Messiah. Rabbi Alexandri explains, if the Jewish people merit redemption, the Messiah will come in a miraculous manner with the clouds of heaven. If they do not merit redemption, the Messiah will come lowly and riding upon a donkey. It is very interesting that in the Jewish tradition they talk about two different comings of Messiah, one on a donkey and the other on the clouds of heaven. And indeed, Yeshua came on a donkey and resurrected and said that he will come back on the clouds of heaven. The school of Eliyahu taught, 6,000 years is the duration of the world. 2,000 of the 6,000 years are characterized by chaos, 2,000 years are characterized by Torah, 2,000 years are the period of the coming of the Messiah. Interesting that according to this teaching, there are 2,000 years between Adam and Abraham, and 2,000 years between Abraham and Messiah. And indeed, Yeshua came 2,000 years after Abraham. Rabbis interpret the coming of the Messiah not by what is written in the Bible, but by their rabbinic traditions, which they elevated higher than the Bible. But their own tradition betrays them, because in their own tradition it says that Messiah was meant to come 2,000 years ago. So any Messiah that comes tomorrow other than Yeshua will be proven false by the very tradition the rabbis uphold. The Gemara talks about a lamentation for Messiah ben Yosef, who was killed. This would be the meaning of that which is written in that context. And they shall look unto me because they have thrust him through, and they shall mourn for him as one mourns for his only son. Zechariah 12:10. Many rabbis falsely claim that Zechariah 12 is not about Messiah and the person pierced is not one but many in the plural. But here the rabbis of the Gemara clearly state that this verse is messianic. They talk about Messiah dying and connect the verse with Zechariah 12, and recognize that the one pierced is singular, not plural. Ulla says, "Let the Messiah come, but after my death, so that I will not see him, as I fear the suffering that will precede his coming." Likewise, Rabbah says, "Let the Messiah come, but after my death, so that I will not see him." Rav Yosef says, "Let the Messiah come, and I will be privileged to sit in the shadow of his donkey. I am willing to undergo all the pain and disgrace associated with his arrival." So here clearly the rabbis of the Talmud exposed the lies of orthodox Judaism, which says that when Messiah comes, it will be peace and prosperity. Many rabbis saw a time of great calamity and suffering when Messiah comes, and so it was in the days of Yeshua